Arena. Brian Giesenslaw, Jean-Luc Grandpierre. It's Blue Jackets Live pregame presented by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. And JL, I say end of an era off the top, not because the future isn't exciting, because it is, but because some of the players the Jackets no longer have were players who helped establish and build a culture that led to the best stretch of hockey in franchise history.
Yes, and you're talking, of course, about David Savard and Nick Foligno. Obviously, Riley Nash as well. But David Savard and Nick Foligno are two guys that, you know, it's kind of like we've seen them grow in front of our eyes. Nick Foligno grew as a captain, was a big part of this organization, and what he's gave to this team and this city has been amazing. And, you know, ironically enough, Nick Foligno ends up with 599 games with the Jackets, and David Savard at 597. Would love to see them pass that 600, but great opportunities for all three of these players to pursue their dream of chasing that Stanley Cup.
This is where we stand for the Jackets now that the trade deadline has come and gone. Two of the longest tenured Blue Jackets have departed, including the longest serving captain in franchise history.
You know, I think Columbus and I grew together. When I got here, we were a team that didn't have a ton of respect. And I think that was something that I wanted to be able to bring. And in return, they lifted you up, you know, and I think that's something I'll forever be grateful to Columbus for. The way they supported our team as we got going here is just incredible. We got to almost share every experience, new experience together. You know, for us, you know, winning our first round, I got to share that. That was the first time our fan base got to experience that, the people of Columbus, and just the pride they have of our team. So I think, you know, that's what I take away from Columbus is what they've given me is, you know, an understanding of how important it is to connect with your fan base and you know, the community that you live in. And there's just so many good people here outside of hockey in the, you know, organization itself. And that probably stems from the McConnell family that owns it, just the way they are as people and how much they give him back. And I am just, you know, Columbus has a place in my heart forever.
And for me, I remember Nick Foligno, three big moments for me was the goal against Pittsburgh,
right?
The sweep against Tampa,
yep,
and the look.
Steven Stamkos.
Yes.
That's my number one.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It represents exactly what this captain has done for this city.
And as we celebrated this 20th anniversary season and talked about so many pictures we'd like to have on our walls, framed, basement, that's the one I want. Yeah. I want an autographed Nick Foligno confronting Steven Stamkos in the playoffs. That's my favorite. All right, Jody, jump in here now and save us from talk about art on the walls of our houses a little bit. Listen, these decisions are tough. They're made in the best interest of the franchise, but they come with a lot of emotion for everyone involved. So now that all of this has happened, how does everyone best process what's happened and respond appropriately now and move forward?
Well, first of all, that picture you want on the wall is going to give you nightmares because that's a scary look from Nick Foligno. So get that out of the way. But yeah, it's time to move forward. And you know, this general manager and Jarmo Kekalainen, this is a tough moment. This is a tough part to be in. When you enter the season, you don't plan on selling at the deadline. This is what he was faced with, but he likes the nucleus of his team. And when you look at the nucleus of his team, it's players that have been here and understand what type of team this is. This is not a rebuild. There are guys that are in this lineup down there on the ice today, and that's Seth Jones, and I consider Gavrikov a new player. But these guys understand the brand of hockey that we have come to love. And Gavrikov now he's got the binoculars out, and this is kind of a ritual. This is fun. I love to see this from these guys because exactly what they should be doing. Stay loose, enjoy the music, have some fun out there. But what I'm saying is, we think that this is all going to change. Some parts have changed, but look to build around players like this and Werenski. And I look at a guy like Michael Del Zotto, who now, we thought he'd be traded at the deadline. I'm glad he's not, because the music he plays in warm-up is tremendous. When you get to come back in the arena and the fans that have been here, great music from Michael Del Zotto. He's the DJ for this. Anyways, so these guys, he's going to play top minutes now. He's going to show what he can do free. And he thought he was going to get traded. He's not. So I love what's happened here with the nucleus of the team, the new parts that'll be in, but this is not going to change as dramatically as we think or we thought a few minutes ago when we saw the deadline pass.
And my thoughts are very similar to Jody's, but for me, I'm going to focus on Olivier Bjorkstrand, who's another guy. We talk about chances for guys to make an impression. You know, we talked about the young guys coming in last game. But for me, Bjorkstrand just turned 26 a couple of days ago, grew up in the organization. He knows. He's been through the system, won a championship in Cleveland. Now he's here in Columbus. And he gets a chance really to have a bigger voice in that locker room and really grow as a player. Yes, he's leading the team in scoring right now, but right now it's time for him to step up as a true leader on that team along the Cam Atkinson and the Seth Jones. So I think it's a great opportunity to see really the character of these guys as well.
And to build on that, Jean-Luc, we have both been new players in new locker rooms. It's intimidating, it's scary, and you always look to the players that have been there, whether they're young or in a player like Bjorkstrand, or they're fresh and new like Lehtinen. These guys understand a bit already, definitely Bjorkstrand, of what it's like to be here, what it is to put on the jersey. And I think that is the character that we have to reflect on with this team now moving forward, is those key pieces now shine a little brighter. Nick Foligno was the leader. Seth Jones is a leader. So is Boone Jenner. So is Bjorkstrand. So let's remember this. This is not tear it down and forget about what's been built up, because a lot of good pieces in this franchise have been built up, starting in Cleveland with that championship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See it as the changing of the guards.
Yeah, something like
just
that.
passing the torch to a new era of players, but that have grown within the organization.
And don't focus on what's gone. Sorry, Brian.
No, it's
There's
okay.
a lot to focus on with players that have moved on, players that have left town. It's okay. There's great leadership here, and there's a good brand of hockey that we should stay familiar with.
And it all sets up now. 13 games for the players who are left, the new players, the remaining veterans. 13 games to say something about this season. Jody, thanks a lot.